Um, So I think the most confusing thing about reharmonization is how do I choose which chord substitutions and how do I pick the sound that I want? And I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to try to explain to you how to do that. And I can only show you the way that works for me and how I've come to understand it, and I hope that it can help you. The main way in I think that you need to understand it is by chord function. There are three main functions in Western music, which is tonic, subdominant, and dominant related chords. All chords and all chord combinations that you come across in jazz and harmony and other sub styles of jazz fit within these three main functions. I'm playing Silent Night here in the key of E flat major. Of course, when we are in E flat major or in any major key, we have all of these chords. We have all of these chords that exist from chord 1 to chord 7 within one scale. Although a lot of songs end on chord 1, which is the tonic, we actually can substitute the tonic with chord 6, and we can substitute the tonic with chord 3. These are all tonic related chords. Subdominant related chords would be chord 2 and chord 4, and dominant related chords is chord 1 and chord 7. So if you know these, then you know that when you have a melody, you have different options then to choose. Of course, your choices will be informed by the melody. And by the way, tonic related chords are the ones with the least amount of tension. They are kind of like settling places where you would resolve to. Subdominant is kind of like not as strong as the perfect cadence, which would be chord 5. So it's kind of like approaching chord 5, like a plagal cadence, like a 4-1. Or 2-1, and chord 5, which would be the dominant, would be the strongest point of tension. Another tip that may be useful when you're reharmonizing is knowing that a minor chord, a half diminished chord, is actually a minor chord with the 6 in the bass. That's going to be useful for you. And then also another rule with reharmonization, and particularly neo soul, is that it actually breaks rules around tension. So it'll do something like, right? Obviously, there's no A natural in the key of E flat, but when we are talking about this kind of fresh reharmonizing via neo soul vibe, these rules will be broken. So you want to keep that in mind, because these are the choices that you're going to have to make if you want to use that sound. Now I'm going to take this song Silent Night, and by the way, the original is chord 1 to 5. Then it goes to 5. Then 4. 4 again. Then 5. Right, that's the shell of it. So I'm going to take this Christmas carol and I'm going to, whenever I see chord 1, I'm going to try to use another tonic related chord. When I see chord 4, I'm going to try to use another subdominant related chord, and chord 5 we'll talk about. Of course, I could substitute that with chord 3, and chord 3 here I'm making it as a triad with a 3 in the bass, so it's actually E flat. It's chord 1 with 3 in the bass, which is quite typical of neo soul sound. And I have a B flat sus here. We could do that, but we could also use chord 6. What I had told you about earlier on in the video is that whenever you have a minor chord, it's actually also a half diminished chord. So if I have a C minor, I also have an A half diminished. So because I am substituting this E flat, if I choose to substitute the E flat major with the C minor, it means I can also use the A half diminished. But now again, and I ask that you try to keep up here. I know it sounds like, even while I'm talking, I'm like, this sounds like a lot. I also had said that you can also break the rules of tensions. So instead of making it an A half diminished, right, moving from C, I'm now going to make it and break a rule, and I'm going to make it a natural A minor, right? So we could do something like right, and at first sight you would be like, okay, that's actually so far-fetched, but now that I've kind of explained it and hopefully you're getting it, this is kind of like where these ideas come from, or at least this is how I conceptualize them, this is how I understand them. What about if I started on the 3? That can also work. Then we have make that a suspended chord. And the way that I think about suspended chord, I'm thinking chord 2 over 1. So I'm thinking F minor, not over 1 over 5. So it's F minor over B flat. That's how I create suspended chords, or at least this would work. This is how it works with the melody in this case. And if I'm having F minor, again, I can say, okay, F minor can also be D half diminished, by virtue of D half diminished being the same as F minor with 6 in the bass, right? So all of these ideas and tools that you have, they all start to just come up in your head, and you want to use them as best as you can. You kind of break apart all the chords and see all the opportunities that are possible. So and it goes to chord 1, it goes, I'm gonna go to the chord 6 instead of chord 1. And then because it lingers on this chord tonic related chord here, which was E flat major, I'm going to move to chord 3, which will take me perfectly to chord 4. This D minor I'm taking from the idea that when I have a F minor suspended, right, I'm thinking F minor, so I'm thinking D half diminished, and I'm breaking that rule by making it a natural D minor because it works with the melody, and it gives me a D minor 11. So we end up with and now what you want to do is you want to create different versions of the same song so that you get comfortable with applying these ideas over and over again.